Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, I rise in opposition to this resolution as it represents nothing more than an attempt to undermine the authority of the President of the United States. Like it or not, Donald Trump is our president, which means he enjoys certain constitutional prerogatives. His decision to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord fell squarely within his constitutional authority. Furthermore, this resolution rests on the precarious constitutional footing. Absent the blessing of Congress, California lacks the right to enter into a confederation with other states to keep the terms of the Paris Accord, much less join the accord at a later date. In addition, I must also oppose this resolution because, frankly, as our distinguished budget chair once said so accurately, the hypocrisy of a resolution versus doing our jobs as legislators is troubling. In 2017, the National Economic Research Associates conducted a study which found that the Paris Accords would cost a net economic loss of $250 billion a year by 2025, rising to $420 billion per year by 2040, for a cumulative total of $4 trillion lost. Significant production losses in iron, steel, refined petroleum, and cement, and our domestic manufacturers have become less competitive with our overseas counterparts. A loss of household income of about $710 annually between 2022 and 2031, rising up to $5,000 annually by 2040, and a loss of about 440,000 manufacturing jobs, amongst other things. The Paris Accord put the United States at a major disadvantage in that it required our country to cut back on greenhouse gas emissions, but gave nations like China and India free rein to pollute. In essence, the agreement allowed for the developing nations like China, India, and others to continue using massive amounts of carbon-intensive fuel sources. However, the United States and the rest of the world was forced to sacrifice their economies and workers. This agreement, along with the multi-billion-dollar slush fund for these countries, was the only reason they agreed to sign on in the first place. They knew that hard emission requirements would hurt the United States economy but allow other nations to continue without any limits. But how fair is this to the citizens, especially here in our state of California? Why would we want to support an agreement that would only make our economic problems in the Central Valley, the Inland Empire, and other struggling communities in our state more acute by driving out the few businesses and industries that remain? Our struggling businesses and their employees don't have the luxury or the ability to solve the world's environmental problems. In conclusion, Mr. President, I think that the aims of this resolution are deeply troubling on a number of levels, which is why I urge a no vote.